Good evening, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okon. Good evening, thank you everybody who have been helping to subscribe, share, like, click the notification bell, and clicking like, leaving a comment. We are actually in London. In East London, we are heading into central London to have a party. Actually, Food Fair is an event which is organized for our community in the United Kingdom. So we will be going there with my friend, my best friend. He will introduce himself to you if he's interested. He's driving for the moment. Normally, well, we are going out with him or with other people. This is car, because I'm not driving, I don't have a car at the moment. My friend has a car, it's been very good to me. And I also help him. Now the rule is I don't drink. So if he likes to drink, you ask him if he's going to talk to you. If he drinks, then he's going to tell you, oh, he drinks, or he doesn't. Then if he's drinking or not, or if he's tired, then I'll be driving to come back. And we avoid taking number plates. And a lot of people don't really like their privacy to be exposed. We are approaching the traffic light here. So this is the first time I'm taking this videoing in a car. The last time I did a road trip was when I was going to Stratford and into central London in a bus. So I could not speak in a bus because there are so many people and it looks awkward speaking in the bus. And thank you so much for your help. This is how it looks like in the car. I'm not going to show my friend to you, but in the future I will actually persuade him nevertheless. Maybe he has a very beautiful garden, so probably during summer we'll interview him. We're doing a barbecue. Barbecue in the United Kingdom is something resembling, you roast meat and vegetables and everything. It's called barbecuing. If you are in a different country, maybe you call it different. Leave a comment below. Let me know what barbecuing means in your country. If you are in China, you are in America, you are perhaps also if you are in the UK, in Europe, America. I think barbecuing is like roasting meat, and when you're having a party. And I'm going to stop at this petrol station and pick a thing or two from here, and then continue talking to you. Continue watching. Thank you so much for your support. So like I said, this is how it looked like on the road. These are some of the buildings. Some of the buildings in London, in East London. It's a new construction. It's actually the changes we're experiencing in the United Kingdom. We are changing the face of the world. And if you live in Africa, you're living in you will discover that things are really changing. Because technology, building technology. I watch other YouTubers in Africa and showing how Africa is looking like. It's so fascinating to see developments in Africa, and this is a benefit of technology and also wealth. I've been talking about the cost of living crisis, which is actually an economically and policy created problem in the UK and also across the globe. It's a poverty induced, a poverty situation created by the problem of income, major problem of income. This is how it looks like around here. Some of these buildings are acting very old, but they're so big. These are big offices. And if you know anything about Tesco supermarket, that is Tesco right there. This is our local Tesco. The supermarket where people go to buy groceries, things for household. When you buy food, drinks, and other, you can also put fuel into your car. This is actually a petrol station. It's a petrol station in part of Tesco business. We are now joining a motorway. This motorway is actually in East London. It's part of something called M25. A406. The motorway in the United Kingdom is similar to motorways around the world. There are highways, there are highway roads. They are actually fast lanes. They're fast roads. They move very quickly, very fast. Today is Saturday, so generally the traffic is generally okay. It gets heavy from time to time, but broadly traffic tends to be all right in the weekend. But it depends which area. This is actually almost like a countryside. It's the outer area of London. If you go central, which we are heading towards central London now, then the traffic becomes heavier, and this is one of the first occasions, because normally I take my video from home. This is a fairly new experience, doing this in a car being driven by my friend. And hopefully when we're coming back, probably we'll be taking the video, probably be driving, coming back. Because he's my neighbor in the United Kingdom, he's my neighbor in Africa. We grew up in the same village. And next time when I go to his home, maybe during summer when it is warm, he has a very nice garden. We may be talking to the camera, if he's happy to do that, and his family, if they're happy to do that, and we talk about the subject, the topic. There is a lot of topics to talk about. How life goes in the UK, and I need to flip and change because I don't want to take number plates from that. And there is traffic, such as you can see here. I'm trying to avoid taking my number plate because I'm not entirely sure about the laws governing YouTubing in terms of personal identification. That is how it looks like. It's part of the motorway right now. It's quite beautiful. It's quite iconic. It's actually landmarks features, which is actually very robust. London is one of the biggest cities in the world, especially central London. The city of London is the leading infrastructure, financial estate in the world. And the United Kingdom is the 6th richest country in the world. But in theory, there shouldn't be poverty in the UK. If you live in the UK, there is poverty. How to understand it may not be the same. The way people understand poverty, say in Africa or other parts of the world. But the poverty, if you can't afford to buy a house to live in, if you have to borrow, if you have to depend on the government to give you a house, public housing, which is a good thing the government is doing in a country like Britain. But if you don't watch this video, watch with the other videos as well, because they have been talking about what happens with the changes policy. The system is changing. We are going from, that is a really beautiful side, a supermarket, Sainsbury's, you like. The economy is changing. There is more wealth because capitalism is an economic system. We are in the middle of winter, so if you see the trees, some of the trees are green, but some trees are bare. no leaves, because the winter is so cold, so extreme, like it being in the desert. It's a desert of cold weather. We're in the traffic here. We're experiencing a traffic, and this is to be expected at this time, especially at this time on Saturday evening. Everybody is outside their homes. A lot of people are driving. There are so many cars. I don't know the statistics. You watch my video, watch the rest of the video, you look for something called ULEZ, ultra low emission zone, which I did one video on that. I think I mentioned the statistics on traffic there. But also, if you're interested, if you live perhaps in the United Kingdom or in London, you can go online, click your mobile phone and just get this information online, detail of anything. We live in the age, at the age of knowledge. Knowledge is so important, because if you have knowledge, then you solve your problems more effectively. Knowledge is important, so I expect viewers to be responsible. And like I said elsewhere, with the cost of living crisis, there is a problem like the cost of living crisis. I've been talking about the cost of living for a year. Our project 1 year ago. The channel has been set in 2012, but I started working on the channel last year, actually 2 years ago now, coming in 2012. In 2022, actually, I started work. And ever since, I've been talking about the cost of living crisis. If you watch the rest of the video, you will be able to actually follow the discussion we have had. And the cost of living is a global problem. It's affecting people on low income always. If you're a multimillionaire and a multi-billionaire, the cost of living doesn't affect you necessarily. Living is always there, but as a crisis, it will not affect people on low income, people in the United Kingdom who might be working for living, or actually people in the United Kingdom who would be also on state benefit. I have been talking about universal credit also. Universal credit is actually a type of money given to people who may be working, they may not be working. But if you have no income, even if you work, you might still be getting. If you live in the United Kingdom, type of information, because they might be helpful to deal with issues of debt. Benefit can help you with debt. If you're sick, you can also get benefit. For sick people, they are not means tested. Means testing means you have money enough not to get benefit. If you get maybe about £8,000 per month, no, £800 per month, the government will say you have enough money to live on, so you will not get universal credit. Universal credit can be a standard allowance or elements of universal credit. This is the main area of benefit I've been talking about. We continue to talk about it, especially for the people who live in the UK, who may be facing problem with the cost of living crisis. And the cost of living crisis is a phenomenon of event which is actually common in the system under capitalism, with government now decreasing in size because of privatization. Government is decreasing in size and expanding market system, where private companies, especially big corporations, multi-million, multi-billion corporations around the globe, are actually the ones now running big businesses. They are also the ones controlling the economy. So wealth in that sense is being concentrated, taken away from the majority of the population of the world and given into the hand of the few in Europe, America, Asia, and in Africa. This is happening mainly because of globalization. Capitalism is actually an incident of policy of government, also of economic management, which is consistent with marketization. focusing resources and also efforts to strengthen the market system, big businesses to run the economy, and therefore we are actually creating a new system of government, which is private, because government is valid because of the economy. If the private companies now run the economy of the world, then we are left in a situation where private individuals, multi-billionaires and multi-billionaires are the ones running the world economically and also influencing politics, policy, affecting society, also, and they are also controlling policy to do with technology and the laws of the land and things like the environment. Environmental issues are fundamental now. So this is something I've been talking about, which has to do with how we live in modern society. Also how we should be more responsible, because the government have said the British people, especially also European and also people of the world, the people should be free from the government. They should now be doing their own thing and not really relying on the government. And leave a comment below if you think that is the right thing for the government to do, whether in the United Kingdom, in Europe, or around the world. This is Canning Town. Canning Town has been growing. Canning Town in London, in East London, has really grown. It's now part of the City of London. The City of London is growing outward. It's where wealth is. One of the most powerful infrastructures in the world. The City of London. This is Canning Town. And if you see those tall buildings, there is Canary Wharf, actually also part of the City of London. This is the leading financial center of the globe. And we're now entering centrally into London. And we are fairly free of traffic now. These are some really big and modern buildings. The traffic is moving, and this is some of the situation. We are entering into a tunnel. These are actually modern road technology infrastructure, and I would say it's quite beautiful. And leave a comment below if you think tunnels are beautiful. I think they are, and they are quite useful in their underpass. This is called underpass. They help to up there will be traffic light, and it means if we travel this way, we move faster. This is a station in London. This is Canary Wharf, I think. The East India Dock station. We just went past. These are some landmarks here in London. Iconic landmarks. This is now we're entering into the city proper now. You see modern building, Barclays Bank, and some construction is going on here. They're really exciting moments. Posters from I think McDonald's and things like that. High rise, skyscrapers. And London is a beautiful city. London is being prepared as a city. Billy's getting done. So there, Billy's, that is a building. I don't know if you can see. That's where we get all the good fish, fresh fish, and things like that. That is banks. These are mainly banks, actually. Global banking corporations. Most of these buildings here now is part of the city of London, and so much to see in London. If you are outside London, if you are in Europe or around the world, London is actually a fantastic place to visit, and it's one of the most attractive tourist sites. Some of the best cuisines you can think of: food, entertainment, theater, cinemas, and we form, like myself and my friend here, we form the African diaspora community. We are strong. We are really keen to preserve our culture. So we organize events. We actually run projects we want to be represented in a foreign country as diaspora. So we have been trying to do many things. You can see it's getting darker in the car, but that is okay. So I'll be concentrating, recording outside. This is another tunnel. This tunnel is so beautiful and it's quite convenient. Leave a comment below what you think about tunnels. They are very modern. And my understanding, China as a country is digging the longest tunnel under the sea, I think Atlantic, into America. It's going to be running trains like, is it levitated train? The train which actually floats in the air, running on a magnetic field. One of the fastest, almost as fast as airplane. So this is modern technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, nanotechnology, all these things are actually coming, making life quite actually exciting. But my topic so far with regard to also including the cost of living crisis, my concern is for the British government and government of the world to get everyone out of poverty by increasing the level of pay when people work for a living, especially people on the lower scale of pay. And it is only fair because there is a lot of wealth in the world. So I expect every government, especially governments in Africa, to raise the level of minimum income. In the United Kingdom, for example, I expect the government at least to give £30 an hour for people who work for a living. That would lift British people out of poverty. It is so shameful that the sixth richest country in the world, Britain, of all the countries, still mention the name of poverty. Because people cannot buy housing. They can hardly now cope with buying food and energy. They should stop. Housing is a problem. It's very costly. And my channel is to talk about this thing. Join me in the discussion. We are out of the tunnel and we are out in the open. It's still very beautiful. You can still see the sky. You can see the landscape, the road. We enjoy looking at this thing. This is something you can bet on enjoying. Some of these buildings are actually being renovated. Britain is a very traditional country. Some of the oldest buildings are still being preserved. The listed buildings, they are not supposed to be taken down and they are supposed to be preserved. So there is a mix and match of all sorts of types of accommodation or building. I don't know what this building is. So when summer comes with the weather, I'll be coming to central London, probably with a few friends. And taking videos in parks. There are so many parks. There are so many tourist sites, the historical sites. That is probably a residential place right there. It's a long building. That is a minaret. I think it's called minaret. It's a symbol around cities. That is of the church. That pillar right there. The church. So I'm so excited doing a video in a car being driven by somebody else. As I'm sitting in a bus where people are actually, the British people are very quiet. They don't talk very much. So for me to be in a bus and actually talking to myself is really awkward. So now I'm free because I'm in a private space. Leave a comment below if you think it's a good thing when I'm taking a video in a bus or in a train and everybody is quiet and I'm making a noise talking to the camera, and some of them might be offended, taking my speaking as the noise pollution. At least my friend can tolerate me a little because I've already spoken to him and I need to take a few videos because this is the first time I'm doing it in this way. So it has been very nice to me to say, oh, that is okay. Because normally I will be talking to him. Now he has to be quiet and then Or he can also talk to the camera if he's happy. He can greet you maybe next time when we meet. He has a family. Some of his family may be interested to talk to me. He will be interested. There are things he likes to talk about. So bit by bit, I think he will be talking to me. And also, these are actually residential places. You know, sort of mix and match. I think this should be a school or something, or even a church. Some of the images are not really very clear because of the lighting. The lighting is far in between. So some business premises. This is now central London. Part of it. This is actually southeast, EC probably, part of the eastern wing of London. And we are on the street. You see how it looks like the car. It's not too bad because the lights from the car are actually lighting. There are also street lights. So it may not be the brightest. You see, really, these are really old buildings. They are closed down. These are pubs. Used to be pubs. They are now petrol station here. Jet petrol station. Leave a comment below if you know anything about Jet petrol station. Londis. And this is a storage facility. Some of the things you find in London. This is a construction site. London is being rebuilt on a daily basis, providing also employment for people who know how to build. People who might be interested. Texas for petrol stations. I think petrol stations are really, really beautiful when you're taking them. When you take a photograph of petrol stations, because there's a lot of light, and I've just realized how beautiful petrol stations are because I'm looking at them through the camera. Sometimes you look through the camera and you realize how beautiful some places are, other than when you know, like this space, right? These buildings, they are, you know, looking at that building. It's really, really, really good look. It's really, really beautiful. This is London now. How it is. If you comment below, London is one of the oldest cities in the world, and there have been regeneration of the city. Look at that tower. It's so far away. I think this tower is so tall. It's the tallest building in London. That tower. Can't remember what it is called now. The new tower, I will remember what it is. I used to know what it is. I think it's called. I'll let you know as soon as I find out what it is. It's one of the best towers in the world. These are some of the buildings. It's a really, really, really good. Central London is awesome. They hold at the new. These are some of government establishments. Just extraordinary spaces. They are very historical. So commodity key. I mean, it's called commodity key. This is part of the city now. We're now in the city of London, and also government infrastructure. There's some of really, really huge buildings right here. And to comment below what you think a survey of London it is. Let me know what you think how London looks like. Comment below. So we are now approaching Tower Bridge. You go online and click Tower Bridge. Find out what Tower Bridge is, historical. There's somewhere called the Tower of London. They used to hang people on the Tower of London if you commit offense. Britain used to practice capital punishment. Capital punishment means if you commit a high level of crime, you can be sentenced to death. So if you are sentenced to death, the place they used to execute offenders, criminal offenders, was the Tower of London, which is actually next to Tower Bridge. The building you see right here is actually the City of London. It's a financial headquarters of the United Kingdom, but also a leading financial city of the world and of Europe as well. And London is now being prepared to lead the globe in terms of finance, institution, financial estate, global financing. So it's going to be a very important city in terms of globalization, in terms of wealth creation, wealth management, in terms of the capital project. I'll say the project of capitalism, of globalization to be more precise. If you look at the skyline and also the landscape, you are able to see this is actually the Tower of London, part of the Tower of London. It is during summer where people actually come to visit the Tower of London. And if you are coming to the United Kingdom, it will really be a useful place to visit. And even now, because the weather has improved, some people have already started spring. And spring leads to the season of summer. We have a traffic jam here. The lighting is not the best to show you the Tower of London, but I think it's sufficient, it's good enough. And we have a government infrastructure. The Mayor of London office is right, I think it's right across the road. That is part of the city, that glass and steel building right there near the Tower of London. That is that tower right there. I can't remember what it is called. It's one of the most iconic landmarks in the United Kingdom, London. If you comment below what you think of London, it's such an opportunity. So thank you so much, my friend, for coming out with me. We are going to Acholi Food Fair. If you are in Acholi, leave a comment below. You're watching this video, wherever you are. Acholi is a group of Luo people. If you know anything about Luo, leave a comment below. Let me know what you know about Luo. Luo are actually a group of people who came from North Africa, from the Sudan, and they travel along the River Nile. River Nile is the longest river, natural river in the world. I think, if not the longest, then the second longest after Amazon. I think Amazon is probably the longest river in the world. Leave a comment below if you know anything about regional geography. I don't know if that is regional or physical. I think that is part of physical geography. Rivers of the world. I think River Nile is really long. It's fresh water from Lake Victoria in Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania in East Africa, traveling through the Sudan, South and North Sudan, and I think Egypt, and it water ends up in the Middle East in the Red Sea. So the Luo people are the Nilotics. I mean, they travel along the Nile, coming south from the north. They settled in what is now Sudan, South Sudan in particular, also in northern Uganda, and the Luo people also in the West Nile in Uganda, northwestern part of Uganda. They are in eastern Uganda, and the main group of Luo people are actually in Kenya. They are over, I think, I don't know the figure, but I think they're about 2 to 3, perhaps 4 million in Kenya, and also part of Tanzania. These boundaries were created by the British when they colonized Africa, East Africa, because they were actually, Africa didn't have a map. So the Luo group were communicating between the Sudan, Uganda, Kenya. They were it's just one people, traveling, trading, and commuting. They were free, but now we have the main group in Kenya, also in Uganda. So we, the Luo of Uganda, if you know, the former president of America, Barack Obama, is a Luo from Kenya, born in America. From our cultural point of view, Barack Obama is our son. He's a Luo son. This is Tower Bridge, one of the most important bridges in the world. Very historical, and a lot of history. Is one of the most iconic landmarks. This is actually Thames River in London. This is the biggest, one of the biggest man-made rivers probably in the world. That is the tower, and also the London Mayor office is right there. This actually this particular building right there, London Mayor office. London Mayor is actually political establishment. It's a London Assembly where people discuss politics. London politics, regional politics, is part of the evolution of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. I remember I said previously that you see this building here, that is actually the London Mayoral office. London Mayor is one of the most important local leadership and administration in the United Kingdom. Is actually the product of devolution. Power was devolved from central London, from Westminster. Westminster is actually the seat of power, where the government is in the UK. That's where Westminster is. So power was devolved because of democracy. In England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. So the London Mayoral Office represents England in terms of politics, policy, and government, local government system. You comment below if you know anything about localism as a political system. We are now going to the southeastern bit of London. We are in we are very central now in London. This was really very old buildings. There are businesses, there are local businesses. They are actually very old. This is actually a bar and a restaurant. Sorry about the lighting. The lighting is not really. The lighting is not really good. Comment below if you can see this. The lighting is not the best, but you can see some of these things. On my back. If an emergency service, I think the ambulance service or something. Maybe there's an incident. This is southeast. Hello, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We are still moving on our way. We are actually going to somewhere called Elephant and Castle. Elephant and Castle is a very beautiful area. It's in the southeast of London, and this is now more or less countryside. It's dark. Can still see because there's a lot of light. All these places are well lit. They're now very southeast London. It's very southeast London. The way it looks. So we are about to reach our destination. So because of copyright, they're having a party there. I may not be recording very much. I might be recording things here and there, but I may not be talking to you because well, I'm actually I may start another video from what we are doing here and maybe connect them if I can edit them properly. But that's the plan. So now I'm just continuing with this road trip in central London. We are in the southeastern. We came from southeast. We only came to part of central London in the city. But if you see all these places, because London is expanding outwardly, it's becoming really bigger and bigger, even in the outskirts of central London. This is a church, I think. If not, then it must be one of those buildings, public buildings, which are really impressive. They are very, this is a church, this called house. I think it's a church. If not, then probably it's a courthouse. I'm not sure what it is. So we have this building site. The building accommodation here. It's a studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. These are homes which are actually shared ownership and open market sale. Shared ownership means is government funded building facilities. They are part of public building, public housing in the United Kingdom, in London here. They are actually funded by the government. The people are called Housing Association, which is actually providing social housing. Well, sometimes they give the full right to buy. I think it's discretionary, which means it's not of right, it's not mandatory of right. If you are dealing with the public housing, like the council, what we call the council, which is actually statutorily based housing system, then you have the full right by law, you have the full right to buy. If you are given a house, it's in public housing, you have the right to buy. But if you are living in with the housing association, they have to decide whether to give you the full right to buy. But normally you have a partial right to buy. It's called shared ownership. And see, some of the businesses, they're really very beautiful sites. So London is a beautiful city. Leave a comment below what you think about these images showing London, central London, which is very beautiful, in my opinion. These are bus stops. People wait for buses there, public buses. It's a good system. It's like a taxi in Africa. You live in Nairobi or in Kampala, Ghana, in Africa, you use taxi probably, or matatu, whatever you call them. But here in Europe, especially in London, in the United Kingdom here, there are bus services which are actually like taxi. They are quite affordable. They are part of public service. That's a restaurant, very beautiful things. It's Chinese style seafood. These are some of the really fantastic attractions in central London. If you have money, then you are good to go. And that's why some people are so frustrated because of the cost of living crisis. Because if you work to earn a living, your money goes into rent, cost of living, in paying rent. And this is our buses actually. This is the bus I'm talking about. This is a public bus. And if you comment below if you think they are interesting. If you live in the developed world, you're probably familiar with this site. If you live in Africa, leave a comment below what kind of public transport you use in Africa. I know there are taxis, private taxis, but taxis are private infrastructure system. This is a supermarket. Sainsbury's, this is where you buy groceries. Groceries are simply things like food, water, things for the normal thing for the house. Thing to cook, thing to drink. This is the police, London police. I don't know what they're looking for. They are on emergency. They light. I don't know what they're looking for. That's the police right there. This is a construction site. I think part of the station. I'm not sure. This major building. This is actually common. It's all about the lighting. It's not the best, but to give you an idea what is going on around here. This is called Elephant and Castle. It's a city. It's a city within the city. It's like an area. So comment below if you know Elephant and Castle. If you live in London, you should be able to know what Elephant and Castle is. Even if you don't know, just leave a comment below what you think. It's quite interesting. It's a very... You get lots in London. Ask for Elephant and Castle. If you're a visitor, if you're coming here, maybe you're a tourist. Elephant and Castle is one of the places you cannot get lost because it's near the station, the train station. Almost everybody knows where Elephant and Castle is. You ring somebody, where are you? I'm in Elephant and Castle. They'll probably know where you are in London. So this is Elephant and Castle. The buses, the public transport buses. Comment below what you think. This is how they look like. These buses. They are double deckers. They are actually double deckers means there is one level on the ground level, then there's another one at the top. Like the name suggests, they're double deckers. Here you are. This is Elephant and Castle. And this is the train station underground. There it is. We've got the buses. They are double deckers. This is construction site. Major building in, facility going on here. And it's a busy area. Saturday, people are coming out to go out to have a good time. That's what we're trying to go to do as well. We are getting out of the center. We are now heading toward the outer bit. It's a shops. We are now immediately getting out of where main actions are. This is now residential places where people live, their homes. These are the home of people. This is how it looks like. So the buses. You will comment below if you think this is interesting. This is a bar and a restaurant. They are very traditional. The smell of this place is really food. And it's very nice smelling food, really. if you're hungry, you will really salivate. This is a resident place. This is actually a block of flats. It's now we are now approaching our destination. We are just around the corner now. We are looking to arrive, but we may not be able to record many things because of copyright. Because where we're going, there is going to be music will be played, so I may take video there in a different way. Just now trying to take the picture of some good architecture, because London is very historical. There are some really beautiful buildings. I like normally taking pictures of ancient buildings, buildings which are very historical, and They may not look like it, but if you don't live in London, if you live in London, then you're familiar. Our types of buildings, like this gate. This gate is so beautiful, and they are very, very, very traditional. They are really old buildings, but they are very, very expensive buildings. The kind of building you might not even be able to afford to live. So we're taking a few and continue watching. This is a bar in the United Kingdom, in London. It's called pub, public place. It's very, very, they are very old buildings. They're very traditional, King Arms. These are bars. They're very local. They're quite, the architecture is very vintage. And they are actually, most of these buildings are listed buildings. Listed building means they are actually preserved as historical sites. So they are tourist attractions, and they are quite interesting. Infrastructures, they are estates in the UK, here in London. This is a bicycle for rental. If you live in London, you can actually hire a bicycle. They are from the bank, Santander. I think it's a public-private partnership. I think it is part of Transport for London. I'm not sure. Leave a comment below if you live in London and you know anything about this bicycle, because you can rent them. They are very green. They are part of the green policy. The government is encouraging Londoners to ride on bicycles to try and save the environment. If you are interested in environmental protection, a bicycle scheme like that is actually intended to protect the environment, and Londoners are being encouraged to ride other than drive. Leave a comment below if you like driving. Leave a comment below if you actually care about the environment, if you are an environmental campaigner. These are some of the local facilities that are quite interesting. Blocks or buildings. We are actually very near where we need to go. So we are about to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch this far, subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with family and friends. If you haven't subscribed before, click notification bell and leave a comment. Let me know. This is actually experimental to see how this approach to videoing works. I'm excited that I have done this. I'll see how we can do what we can do to actually improve on the content. And this is actually residential places. There are some businesses, probably offices also. But broadly speaking, this is actually this is a school, I suppose. It's a school. There's some really localized local facilities. This is actually the characteristic of building system in London. This is a residential place, and these are actually ordinary people living in ordinary places. These are actually, we say these are people who are on low and medium income. And in Africa, these would classes, maybe people who are poor, I'm not sure. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think about a place like this. This is very London is quite urban, is quite suburbia, and we are almost there. This is the bus, London bus. It's the main road. Quite interesting to see these roads are really beautiful. This is a school, I think. This is a school, this place. I think it's a park. It's a park. some of the estates, residential estate. This is where it's the night time now. It's only 6 o'clock because it's winter. The sun goes down very early. This is now, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. This is actually a small garden, communal garden, like a park. They're very green, they're very entertaining. People just walk around, they come to walk with their dogs. Some of the environmental features in this place, in this area. And my feeling is that we are quite near our destination where we are going. And so, because you can see, this is actually Purple J Nursery School. If you can see it, it's not really very villagey nearly, but not really, but it's a very urbanized dwellings. All these vehicles are actually, they are parked outside their homes. This is a school, very small school. I don't know how small or big it is, but this is actually estate residential area. Give you a flavor of what London looks like in all different shades, and different people living in different types of accommodation in London. There are about 15 million people in London, actually occupying about 30 square miles. So there's a high level of concentration. I think we have arrived where we need to arrive. And thank you so much once again for being part of this family. And subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, share with family and friends. Please like, leave a comment below, and click the notification bell. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.